Hello and welcome. In this brief video, we are going to be looking at some basic guidelines for using images on your websites. I really just have three general guidelines, and for those of you who are part of our cross-media graphics program, you're probably already familiar with how to optimize images for the web, but not everybody is, and it's not necessarily very intuitive. So I just have a few guidelines that'll help you as we move forward in our web projects. The first of the guidelines that I have is select the appropriate format, and we're going to take a look at those in just a minute. Also, properly size your images before placing them into your site. It will save a whole lot of hassle, and optimize the image for use on the web to make the pages load faster. So the first thing we're going to look at is our image formats. There are three primary types that are acceptable on the web. There's JPEG, which stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group, which is why sometimes if you download a JPEG file from the internet, you will notice that the file extension is not just JPG, but JPEG. They're really the same thing. The second format is a GIF, which stands for the Graphic Interchange Format. And that one, with the exception of use for animations recently, is kind of getting pushed out by the next one, which is a PNG, or a PNG file, which stands for Portable Network Graphic. Let's take a closer look at each of these formats. A JPEG is best used for photographs. So if you're using any sort of complex imagery on your website, such as a photograph, or even a logo, or other illustrated graphic that has a lot of gradients and color shifts and more blurred edges, then a JPEG is probably your best option. A JPEG image can contain up to 16.7 million colors and is a compressed image format that allows for smaller file sizes, making it easier on the web. The downsides of JPEGs is they cannot be made transparent, and they cannot be animated. A GIF, on the other hand, is best used for line drawings, solid tones, and clip art. So basically anything that has very clear delineated lines, uses solid colors and shapes, because it can only support up to 256 colors. This is how it does its compression. The advantage of a GIF, though, is it can be made transparent. And the biggest thing that we've been seeing lately is it can be animated, which we are seeing an example of on the right-hand side of the screen. This is actually just an animated GIF and not a video file. We will not be going over in this class how to create animated GIFs. For that, you can look it up on your own. The final is a PNG file. This is probably the newest file type that's available, and it really combines the best of both JPEGs and GIFs. Like a JPEG, it can support millions of colors, and it can be made transparent. We can use complex images, and you can do things where you use gradients or fade outs or blurs, and you can overlay them over other colors because they can be made transparent. The only thing is with PNGs is they cannot be animated, but to me that's a really minor thing. So PNG files are becoming very common to be used for both photographs and line drawings. The image at the right is actually a PNG file and is transparent, as we'll see in the next screen. So let's compare. I just took the difference between JPEGs and PNGs because I think that that's going to illustrate what it is that's going on. While we're on the white background, both of these images look virtually identical, but the one on the left is a JPEG file and the one on the right is a PNG file. Because if you recall, JPEGs cannot be made transparent. If I wanted to move that image out over the blue background and still remain transparent, that's not going to be the case. Notice there's actually the white box that this is contained within. By comparison, if we take our PNG file, which is transparent, we can move it out and it's going to be transparent and we can use it over different colors. Admittedly, it does not look good over this dark blue, but you can see that we don't have the white box that surrounds it. even though they both look the same here. So be very careful about the image types that you select. We need to be really concerned with properly sizing our images. This screen and the next actually encompasses the last 2 points, which was optimizing your images and resizing them appropriately. For a web image, we need to be sized at 72 dpi. Typically speaking, if you're looking at a graphic image for print, you're looking at anywhere from 300 to 600 dpi, which is dots per inch. The web, while there are some things that are changing because of screen resolution, 72 dots per inch is still the standard. One of the other things that you need to do, and this is a visual call, is when you are saving your image is you need to work to balance the quality of the image, in other words, the appearance and the aesthetics of the image, with file size. The larger the file size, the longer the load time of your page. And if you have lots of files on your page that are actually quite large, even if you have them sized on your page so they look small, it's going to affect the load time of your page. I have an example here on the right-hand side. This image has been sized so that it's only 300 pixels wide. But in reality, this is a 300 dpi image, and it takes up 5.5 megs of space. Now, if I had a whole bunch of images that large on my page, this would take a really long time to load, because the actual file size is 4032 pixels by 3024. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to right-click on this image and open it in a new tab. Here is this new image. It doesn't look so bad here, but we can see already that it is significantly larger than the image we have here. But you'll also notice that there is the magnifying glass with the little plus symbol. I can enlarge this. So if I do so, this is the full image that it's loading. This is an extremely large image. This is what we want to avoid. So what I'm saying is when you go to the web, we need to resize them so that they're actually size appropriate for the space that they're going to be in. For example, here is that same image. It looks identical, but the truth is its resolution is 72 dpi, and it has been resized to be 300 by 225 pixels. So it is the exact size that we see it here. By comparison to the 5.5 megs that we saw of the other one, this one is only 91 kilobytes. It's tiny. So if we had a whole bunch of these images on a page, it's going to load tremendously faster than if I had a whole bunch of equivalent images that were each roughly around that 5 to 5.5 megabytes. So if I right-click on this one and open it in a new tab, that is the actual size of the image by comparison to this. This is what we want. This we do not. So that's the last thing I had when it comes to properly sizing your images. Hopefully this short video will help you as you move along with the unit that we're covering this week, which is visual elements, and that you understand the types of images and the sizing of the images and how important it is when you are creating a web page.